That fish probably just made me dumber. I usually use like the end of one day and the beginning of a next day to like transition parts when I cut it up into parts for YouTube. So it is possible that this part might just start with that fish made me dumber. Anyone watching this part on its own is gonna be like, what the hell? What is he talking about? Warning. In about a week, there'll be another mission. That's right.
Yeah.
I wonder what we'll face this time. We just keep going on these missions until we defeat all 8 remaining shadows? I guess so. Finally following orders to get stronger by going to Tartarus and fighting shadow after shadow. I've been thinking about this for a while. I feel like Kirijo Senpai is hiding something from us. Maybe she's the true big bad. I don't know. We had an ally betray us in Persona 5. Well, a sort of ally with a sketchy, but...
Let's get on with today's lesson.
Please sit down so we can begin today's lecture. What? I know what you're expecting, Mrs. Terauchi, but she's had an emergency. I'll be taking over class today. We're going to learn a bit about natural magic. What are they teaching in this school? It's not too dissimilar from paganism, which we've already discussed. Natural magic is, obviously enough, magic that draws its power from nature. I didn't realize I was going to Hogwarts. The most popular form of this would probably be herbalism. Calendar-based spells are also a form of natural magic since they involve the seasons. Now, some of you may already be familiar with dowsing, which use a pendulum or rod to find things underground. This too is a form of natural magic, first used to detect source of water. That's enough examples for now. Let's move on to the proper mindset for natural magic. First, you must recognize yourself as a part of nature and accept its power. In other words, think of humanity as a microscopic player within the cosmology of the universe. This mindset is based on the concept of the 4 classical elements. Ancient magicians believed that different objects sharing a common element would react to one another. They performed countless experiments attempting to prove their hypothesis about nature. Are you all listening? I certainly hope so. Here's a little test to see if you're paying attention. You'll receive an ill omen if you get it wrong. Ada, lo, or is that Io? Who knows? Ada, dia. Now who to pick today? Akusek, you have been called upon. What form of natural magic is used to find water sources? That'd be dowsing, but like I am gonna check the thingamabob just in case. Yep, it sure is. Because better safe than sorry. Excellent work. Your answer is correct. As for your omen, no news is good news. Back to the main subject. Prayer is considered integral to many forms of natural magic. One characteristic of natural magic prayer is that much of it is in praise of the Earth Goddess. This ties into the concept of natural magic as a way of invoking nature's blessing. As time passed, natural magic developed into natural science. In this transition, though, a key element was lost. The notion of time being controllable. Natural magic for how long does he go on and forbids the use of spells that go against the standard flow of time? Its practitioners believe that magic should not defy nature, and to this day take great care to follow natural law. I answered correctly. Everyone in the class is looking at me with respect, except that one guy who's probably disgusted with me in the back corner of the classroom. All right, well, now no more people chatting with me unless, okay. Okay, I missed a lot of stuff. I have to alt-tab and scroll up to see what the heck is even going on anymore. Let's see here. But yeah, it's literally one of the best animated shows ever put on Disney. I've heard of it. I've listened to a bunch of Gravity Falls remixes and orchestrations, but I've never seen it there. Probably one of the best animated shows of all time. It's a work of art, genuinely. It's extremely overrated, but it's overrated for a good reason. The show ended like a decade ago, you think, but there's been more and more rumors coming out lately that's hinting at a new spin-off series or new season. Okay, so it's the kind of thing where if I get into it, it's at least done. Like, it has a finish, it has an end point, rather than being something that people recommend me, and then it's going to take like the next 8 years to finish or whatever the heck. Author just published a book that reveals all the lore and secrets of one of the villains for the show, aka the Book of Bill. But is it Bill Nye the Science Guy, like the stream rules imply? I haven't seen Gravity Falls in years. Snow Penguin, same! Looks like the cat girl guy isn't here today. Hold on. What am I doing? I have a new burger or something for you. I could sell a whole bunch of stuff. This is just the unknown ingredients. I don't actually know how I take the challenge. Hold hold on. I want to go duplicate a skill card as I do every day. It's only 2 seasons. Okay, so it's not even super long. It's not gonna take me like 3,000 years like a One Piece or something like that. Let's go to the shrine. There's a reference to Bill Nye in the book. Nice. All right, I'll pray. 40 episodes. Okay, that's not that bad. Let's see here. Sure, give me that. But yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Amazing. Apparently I gotta prioritize my bonds at the school. What? Not the mall. I thought pressing up would just bring me to the high school. Also reveals how to get into heaven or something, and it's literally just a blank page. Oh, so it's like Kung Fu Panda. There is no secret ingredient. I can just check my phone. What the heck am I doing? 2012 to 2014. Okay. So yeah, it was a little while back now. Oh yeah, I'll do that later. Sell some stuff. I'm in no rush. What am I? Hold on. Oh, check bond isn't an option there. So between those two, rank 7, rank 6. And what personas do I have? I have a chariot right here, and I do have an emperor one right here too. So like, it doesn't really matter. Sure, let's go hang out with you because I'm lower with you, I guess. But yeah, I'll know the answer is 42. Yes, by watching Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I remember doing some sort of a report on that in junior high school. That's honestly such a good show. I'd probably be hyperfixating on it if you weren't hyperfixating on Steven Universe and Undertale again. Fair enough. Meet up with Miyamoto and ask him when the heck are we gonna find out news about the Switch 2 heading to practice. Come on, don't give me that look. I'm fine. Yeah, we can grow closer. Yeah. Nice. Let's get pumped up. It's gonna be the day I beat you. I need to find which is this page again? I have so many tabs open to give me the answers. This one is the Emperor Arcana. This one is the Strength one. This one's the Devil one. This one's the Moon one. This one's the right one. So I'm going 6 to 7, I think.
Doesn't Miyamoto seem slower lately?
Yeah, he's not keeping his usual pace.
He thinks he'll make it to the Nationals like that?
You guys have nothing better to do? Why don't you give me a hand with the laundry?
I'm going to go into the volume mixer, uno momento, and turn it down just the tiniest little smidge. When I was listening back to the Elden Ring stream recently, I noticed that it was kind of hard to hear me at points. I'm worried about that potentially being the same with Persona. Whoa. So we shall see. Just the tiniest little smidge, like that.
The only thing they're good at is kicking up dirt. Hey, Kaz. Coach wants to see you in the office.
Okay, be right there.
Hey. Never mind. I think we can wrap up practice for today.
Hey, never mind. I started on my way back to the dorm after practice.
Hey!
Hey! A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
So, the coach told me my performance has been slipping. I know
What?
you
No.
didn't say anything. I just think he can tell something's up.
How's your knee? Oh, sorry.
Sure,
Allergic to
but
knee injuries.
I managed to make it through practice today. He said I'd be suspended from the team if I'm hurt, but I told him I was fine. I've already missed practice 3 times this year. I'm gonna have to seriously step up my game. Otherwise, I won't be able to keep my promise to my nephew.
This is not the stuff to tell him, realistically, but it's how I become better friends with him in games, so you have to get tougher.
You're right. In the end, it's the toughest one who wins.
Man, imagine if there was, like, branching endings based on your choices for the different bonds. I'd be setting this guy for failure. Permanently injure himself. Miyamoto opened up about his decision. I feel like we're becoming closer. Like, when I started having some serious joint issues when I was testing for my 3rd degree black belt, like 6 years ago now, I wasn't gonna push that. I took time off and I spent half a year in physiotherapy. Like, it's, you don't want to push it, man.
Not exactly the happiest topic.
And then I eventually
It's
got
just the worst case
3rd
scenario.
degree, like, many years
Keep
later.
your promise, win the meet, then the
But it's
Nationals.
better than permanently
Then
screwing
I'll take
myself
your
up.
money. Nothing can stop me now.
On part of the way home with Miyamoto. So yeah, his approach is absolutely not the way to go. I am setting him up so poorly. Alright, switch back to my stream manager over there. But hey, it's what I gotta do to make
Sorry to
people
bother
like
you,
me in the
Fuka.
video game, so...
It's okay. What's on your mind?
I'll just be evil here, I guess.
I was hoping
And tell him
you
to
could
keep
do me
on
a
pushing
favor.
himself
With
until
your
he's
skill, I mean.
stuck with a life injury.
I was doing some research on our school and I came across something strange. 10 years ago, a lot of students stopped coming to school for some reason.
Yeah, it was summer.
They were reported as absent at the time, but I found some records that suggest otherwise. Do you know anything about it, Fuka?
Me? Not really.
I know it was a long time ago, but doesn't it seem suspicious to you? From what I've heard, this isn't the first time shadows have appeared.
Wait, are you saying...
I don't know, but I do wonder. And I'm not trying to make trouble or anything, but Kirijo-senpai acts kind of weird whenever someone brings up Tartarus.
Does she?
I just want to know what happened back then. And if it doesn't have anything to do with the shadows, then fine.
I understand. Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, it's you. Welcome back.
I feel so welcomed. Okay, and now I'm in the command room. What, should I do a thing there? I missed a whole bunch of stuff about Inside Out 2 apparently beating the first Avengers movie in terms of ticket sales. What? Wow, okay, interesting. That is not something that I would expect. Hold on. Inside the command room, if you'd like to go to Tartarus, please look for me there. I mean, I'll chat with her. I don't want to head to Tartarus today, necessarily. Hi. Oh, why am I so sniffly now? Can I help you? Sometimes there are just some streams where I randomly get, like, really sniffly. And it, like, never earlier in the day. It's only after I start streaming. And it hasn't happened to me in a while, but I guess tonight is one of those nights where I guess me talking a whole bunch or streaming and my mind being like, oh, weird social anxiety, I'm gonna screw with you. Even if you yourself are perfectly fine and confident with doing this streaming thing, I'm not, and my body just like screws with me. We were just talking about girl stuff, that's all. It's not like I was asked to look into something or anything. It's really nothing at all.
Huh?
Hey, we're just talking about girl stuff, so what's with that look? Can I join in?
What?
What? But it's girl talk. So, no boys allowed. Maybe later, okay? Just not right now. Was there anything new here? Mega consoles was in the room right now, so I shouldn't watch the videos. I honestly forgot the videos were a thing, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, let's see here. Was unexpected, it's a good movie, but you would never think that a pretty good movie would beat the fucking first Avengers movie, especially considering how much hype that movie gained up during the time of its release. Yeah, that is pretty surprising there. What kind of stats can I raise here, I wonder? I do wonder. That do be pretty surprising news, I find. I could do this. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I would have figured from a sequel to... I never actually saw the first movie, but like my impression of it was just like, hey, this looks to me, as someone that's never seen it, my impressions are generic animated kids movie / family movie, was what my impression of it was. Like, I've never seen the first one or the second one. I think my mom saw the first one many years ago on a flight and she liked it. But I practiced some lines and mannerisms that I can use to make a good impression with girls. Again, I don't think dating simulators are how you learn to do that, but like... Oh! Apparently I'm popular now. I don't think I need to raise my charm for a while. Alright, it's Tuesday. Class ended for today. But yeah, and actually speaking of movies, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU. Have you heard who he's playing? I certainly have. It's been mentioned a whole bunch, I think, in the Discord. Else I'm going crazy here. And I have a lot of thoughts about that. I was actually just chatting with my mom about that earlier today, and how it's like, yeah, this probably isn't the best move. So it's, from what I understand, it seems very much like for a long time Marvel was building up to Kang being the next big antagonist, the guy that appeared in Loki and the third Ant-Man movie that I never watched because I heard that it wasn't very good, so I didn't have any interest. And I don't know if he appeared in other things, but the guy that's been in some of these things that's like, oh, there's like multiples of me across all these different universes and we're all gonna come and screw stuff up. And nobody really had much interest in that. It didn't seem, I know I certainly didn't. So it sounds very much like that's kind of being scrapped. The directors of Avengers previously are being brought back, the Russo brothers, to take over Avengers from here. And now the villain is going to be a guy named Doctor Doom that I'm not as familiar with like other Marvel lore stuff. I don't really know who it is, but I've looked up some basic stuff and it's like, oh, he's a main antagonist of the Fantastic Four, but he's also fought the Avengers sometimes or something or other. And I've heard mention that apparently there was some plot line where he, in one plot line, went on to go become like the new Iron Man. And it's like, oh, okay, is this what they're doing here? And the whole, this ship is kind of sinking here, let's bring back some of our legacy people that people knew it for. Like the Russo brothers directing to steer the ship differently. And probably one of, if not the most popular face in the MCU for a long time, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Let's just bring him back and then we can slap his face onto the movie. And I watched an interesting video essay on it recently that talked about why that was a bit of a bad move. That talked about how, as you have these actors that are becoming parts of these like multi-movie series for over a decade now, that they're probably gonna get like more and more tired of being part of that over and over and over again, and their agents are going to be demanding more and more money. And like you can only imagine like how much money they've got to be paying Robert Downey Jr. at this point to be coming back. Like it's got to be like so much of the budget at this point just to slap his face onto it. And it's like, so it's a bad decision from that perspective, just like monetarily, unless they think there's going to be like such a return off of asses getting in seats from just seeing Robert Downey Jr.'s face. And it's also a bad idea just from the perspective of, with the whole, through the possibilities of like the Marvel multiverse or whatever it was the Russo brothers were saying at that convention, through the endless possibilities of the Marvel multiverse, there's only one person that can play Doctor Doom, and Robert Downey Jr. reveals himself. And it's like, well, if you're going to write this multiverse in such a way that there's these endless possibilities, then are there ever actually consequences, truly? So, like, in Endgame, when it was, like, the conclusion of Tony Stark's story and finishing off his character, and, like, his plotline is done, the character is put to rest, this has been, like, the end of his story. If this, especially if this does go in the direction of him becoming a new Iron Man, like, apparently he was in some plotline of, like, Marvel Comics or something or other, then it's like, was there any consequence, any meaning to his sacrifice in this previous movie? Like, does that essentially invalidate what was done previously if you can just bring back anyone that had died with the excuse of, oh, it's the multiverse, this is our excuse to get back the characters that we feel made this popular because we don't know how to get asses in seats otherwise because we can't write good enough movies anymore. Like, there are some situations where it can definitely be a needed thing. Like the situation with Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's like, okay, we gotta find a way to have Wolverine be with Deadpool. Because, come on, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. So, like, that at least makes sense of, like, multiverse, grab another Wolverine. That kind of thing I'm fine with. But, like, one of the things that kept a lot of people going with the MCU for a long time, I feel like, was the long-standing kind of main characters, the biggest ones being Tony Stark and Captain America, and the dynamic between them and seeing how they develop and how they work together and sometimes clash with one another as it goes on. These kind of main characters that you can follow as it goes on. But the new phase of the MCU just haven't had that kind of thing anymore. Like, there's no central big character focus. It's just everyone's out doing who knows what. There's not any one key most important thing going on to kind of center things around. There isn't even like one big clear foe going on. Like, clearly they were building up towards Kang considering the original Avengers plans. But if you're just like a casual viewer watching these, it's like, what is this building up to? Is it building up to the multiverse? Is it building up to multiple timelines? Is this the same thing? Is it building up to the whatever those giants in the planets are, like Celestials or whatever the heck they're called? Is it building up to the quantum realm? What is it doing? Like, it was just doing so many different things, as opposed to pre-Endgame, where it's like the Infinity Stones are what ties everything together. Infinity Stones and Thanos that get people going like, oh, it's building up to that. But in the newer phases, there's just been like no serious build-up. It's like, is it the multiverse? Is it timelines? Is it Kang? Is it Celestials? What is it? What is the next big threat? Who knows? Is what it very much would seem like to a casual viewer that wouldn't look up, oh, it's gotta be Kang. Or at least it was, and now it seems like that's been scrapped. So there just isn't really that drive anymore, and that overarching, interesting character-driven kind of story. And I feel like this move bringing back Robert Downey Jr. is just like, hey, here's one of those characters you really liked. He's in a different role now, but maybe we'll find a way to write him back into that role, and then, again, there'll be no consequences, essentially. And it feels like if you're using the multiverse excuse to just bring back characters, or even, like, bring back actors in different roles just to make people go, oh, it's the person I know, it's the guy I know, then it feels like it kind of invalidates taking them out in the first place if they're going to be playing a serious role. Like, I don't mind if it's a more comedic kind of side role. Like, for example, as much as I can get into this without spoiling too much about it, but in Deadpool 3, there's a lot of characters, but one character I think in my head that a lot of people can point at and be like, whoa, there's a character that I know from other MCU stuff. Whoa, that's crazy. And he's gonna be filling that same role. Nope, the whole gag with it was subverting expectations, putting him to a role so completely opposite from what had been done before, and just playing it as like a comedic joke. And this wasn't even like a main character in the movie, it was just a side character that existed for the laughs there, and it caused like a lot of laughs on my part, and it was really good. Stuff like that where it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's not trying to invalidate like any things that happened earlier. That kind of thing I'm fine with. But if you're actually trying to write in like a long-standing character again that you had previously written out, it's like, okay, like, when they were here as a one-off, as in like, when they're done, I cared. But if now we're at the point where it's like, oh, the infinite power of the Marvel multiverse, we can write whatever the hell we want with zero consequences, it's like, I don't care anymore. Because it's like, if there's no consequences, why would you care about a story, is what I'm kind of feeling like right now. So, yeah, that's what I'm feeling about modern Marvel at this point. And I just kind of wanted to ramble about that a little bit. So, yeah. And they paid him $100 million for him to come back. They confirmed it themselves, my god. And the Russo brothers are getting paid $80 million each. How much budget goes into these movies? Like, I remember hearing that the new Captain America next year apparently has like a crazy budget. What's it called again? Whoops, I have caps on. If I just look up Captain America, will it come up? Brave New World, that's what it was called. Brave New World budget. Because I remember hearing from somewhere that was like massive. Yeah, apparently Captain America Brave New World has a budget of $350 to $375 million. So if Robert Downey Jr. is getting $100 million and the Russo brothers are getting $80 million each, then that alone is basically the budget of the new Captain America movie put into like the upcoming Avengers, just for those three specific people. My god. Like, do they really not have any other options? Holy crap. That is kind of insanity, isn't it? My goodness gracious. Also, I'm realizing now I miscalculated in my head. For whatever reason, I thought that was 360. That adds up to 260 because I'm like an absolute idiot sometimes. But still, that's still like over 2/3 of the budget. I don't know why my brain thought it was 360 there and I added like an extra 100 into the mix. I've been doing statistics all day today at work. I've been learning a lot about statistical calculations that you can do in Excel, and my brain is fried from doing math all day. Now I can't do basic math right, apparently. But still, that is still an insane portion of the budget of those upcoming movies that would be going towards that. Don't think it's gonna be Tony Stark. Heard a rumor that it's gonna be Victor Von Doom that switched bodies with Tony Stark. So although he may look like him, he's not actually not him. What, in that one plot line where he became him, or whatever the weird niche thing I heard was. I think for a multiverse to work in something like this, there needs to be some strict rules. For example, it should probably not be infinite, yeah. Or it needs to be really heavily leaned into for its own plot and possibly for comedy and novelty. Yeah, instead of just being like, oh, it's a multiverse, so this is our excuse to write whatever the heck we want without consequence, and then it just doesn't feel like there's any real gravity to things anymore. There's not a whole lot of build-up for Kang. Yeah, it was basically just Loki and Ant-Man, as far as I'm aware. There was a lot of build-up for the Infinity Stones and Thanos. Yeah, for sure. Plus, the Infinity Stones was almost in every single Marvel movie before Infinity War, at least one in almost every movie. I wouldn't say that it was like that, but they were appearing in a lot of the different movies there. Yeah, there's not really stakes left anymore. I mean, Victor Von Doom in most cases in the comics is actually quite a lot stronger than Kang, so he's a much bigger threat than Kang is. I wonder if they're gonna do anything with Kang at all now, or if they're just gonna be like, well, he's just trashed, or maybe he'll just be solved in like some other individual movie that isn't an Avengers one, considering it feels like so many countless Marvel movies nowadays are all about saving everything. Like, this probably isn't too spoilery to say about Deadpool 3, is it? But that's another movie that was about saving everything. Like, when you were dealing with Thanos and with Infinity War and Endgame, where it's like wiping out half the population, like that felt like a tangible thing, especially considering he did achieve that goal, and you see the heroes all dealing with it in different ways now that this had come to pass. But when it feels like every single Marvel movie is constantly solving the problem of, here's an antagonist that's going to destroy everything, every timeline, every universe, every world, yada yada. It's like, okay, is it really real anymore? Like, it doesn't feel real anymore. Like, Thanos felt real with what he was trying to do, especially after doing it. And his goal wasn't destroy everything. But when you have antagonist after antagonist that is just like, I'm going to destroy everything, it's like, I don't care. Like, I get it. I've seen this same song and dance over and over and over before. And when there's these non-stop villains that want to destroy everything, that keep on getting beaten over and over again in these individual hero movies, then it feels like Thanos that needed like all of the heroes that existed at the time to take him down, when his goal was a lot smaller scale, destroy half of life in one universe as opposed to destroy like all the universes. Then it's like, it doesn't feel like, I don't want to say that it's real again, but it doesn't feel like it would, oh, it's done, that it would be like an authentic real threat, considering it took everyone to take down the guy that was taking out half of life in one world. But it just takes like one person slash a small handful of people to take down a foe that's gonna destroy everything over and over and over again. It's like, man, just here, let's it's frustrating. It is definitely frustrating. Look at this. No, it's not frustrating though. My printer actually working mostly. I am having some stringing issues, but one of these days I'm gonna need to take like a dedicated day to just like solve some of those stringing issues. Like, you can see the stringing between the things. I don't know what they'd be called there. Like, I can just pick it off and clean it up a little bit here by hand at some point. But, you know, long term, I do gotta actually sort that and get like a proper solution. And I'll take off those supports sometime later on my own time, is what I'll do. Here, let's take this off. What do I want to print now? A dragon? I could print some of those dots for the mushrooms, but I don't really want to be going back and forth to my printer constantly while I'm streaming. So, I mean, if I print something like a dragon, I can just leave that going. But yeah, oh my god, I love it. I don't know. I did want to do, like, more colors of these. I could do, like, that same color for, like, a hot pink dragon, in case anyone would want that. But, like, I do want to do more of these multicolor ones, of either transitioning ones, or ones that just hard cut off into other colors. And if this is going to take the next 6 hours to print, I'm not going to be awake for the next 6 hours, so I can't do one of these ones where I manually change the color at a certain point. I need something that I can just load, have it print, and forget about, so that I can still be printing when I go to sleep after the stream. Is the case. Spit the spirit tube lamp I sent you, lol joke. Yeah, the models that you sent there are from a website where you pay for models. Most of the models that I get are free. So, and there's probably models for that kind of thing around that are free somewhere. And let's see here. If I browse through some of my files, is there anything I can print a different articulate axolotl? How long does this take? About an hour? I'll still be streaming then. I could print one of these just for fun. I've only printed one before. See if it'll actually print. Sure, let's print like a non-Minecraft articulate axolotl just for fun. Let's see. Get off some droopy plastic there before it gets lodged in a print. And then blanket under the desk, back over legs, because it gets a little bit chilly here sometimes. But yeah. Let's see here. And wait. All's live action version have been so bad? Wait, for which one here? Let's see here. Thing is, Doom is like such an interesting character with so many good comic iterations. There's so many things you can do with him. Mainly hope that they can do him justice, hopefully. Yeah, he was in the Fantastic Four movies, and they did him absolutely dirty. They made him feel so underwhelming. I think I've probably seen those before, but I wouldn't remember them. Honestly, you blame Disney for taking over past Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, there's all the live-action versions have just been so bad. Everyone says it went downhill after Endgame, but that's not true because No Way Home came out after Endgame, and it was actually a really awesome movie. There's a lot of good things about Spider-Man No Way Home. I do definitely have some complaints with it. I didn't think that it was perfect, but generally I would say it was good. It's definitely the case. But yeah, let's see here. Speaking of MCU, that just reminded you that there's a new gaming remote they made for the new Deadpool movie, and on the other side of the remote, it's literally his ass. I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of that Deadpool dump truck Xbox controller. I think it's hilarious. Wish they made one for PlayStation 2. Imagine. Well, I need to go get a skill card. I've just been in this classroom rambling about Marvel for however long here. That's kind of the downside about Persona here, is that with a lot of games I play, I can kind of ramble about things as I play, but Persona, I oftentimes don't get to do that, especially as I'm going day to day. I can do that if I'm in Tartarus, I'm just running around killing enemies there. I can ramble about whatever the heck I want while it's going on. But when I'm in the day-to-day and I'm constantly going from just like one, what are they called? I'm just gonna call them hangouts. Just going from one hangout to another and turning off my cameras and letting the cutscene play out. I don't really get much chance to chat. And then I have catch up on a bunch of things, and I know that the moment I start doing things, I'm gonna get caught in one of those scenes that I want to let play out. And then I have to just not be chatting for a while anymore. So like, it's what am I on with you? Also, do I have a, was it Justice? What were you? I don't remember. God. Yeah, you were Justice. I am curious what's gonna go on with your story. But yeah, let's see here. But yeah, you should buy one to replace your old Xbox controller. I triple dog dare you to do it. You know, I also have some original Xbox controllers now. But because they have like a unique end, I don't think I can put them into my computer. Otherwise, I could potentially do that, and that would have been pretty funny. Save from time to time, but it's with my sniffles. That is the wrong button. Here, let's go hang out. Wait, what? Yeah, Justice Persona Power. At first I was like, wait, Power Persona? There's only like a few in existence, unfortunately. Oh, probably not getting those. I can hang out with you some other time. Gonna start? I think so. sometimes right before it starts printing, it gives me an error of file could not be read from SD card. Like, it waits until it's done, like, all of the coordinate figuring out, and then it tries to read the file from the SD card. And sometimes it just randomly can't, and sometimes I need to ask it to do it a few times, and then it has to, like, re-get all its coordinates again, and it's kind of annoying. But just got it first try this time. Nice, you'll have to see it. Maybe I should just hang out with you anyway. Where's your page again? Let's see here. I'm pretty sure I have one open. Was it my furthest right one? It was my furthest right one. When are, like, phone calls? It's currently 6:30. There's one on 6:21 and there's one on 7:05. So just a few days away. And it'll happen if you're rank 7 or higher. What's my rank right now? I'm pretty sure it's 7, right? And then I can just do that on 7.5 is what I can do. Where are the... Dang, I'm looking at the wrong things again. I was looking for the Arcana where it says things like Girl, the Shy Mysterious Boy. I don't know why I keep looking at the wrong things all the time. Yeah, I'm rank 7. So I can just do like a unique hangout on 7.5. And for now, I can go hang out with, what am I at with you, like 8? Yeah, and you're available like a lot of days. And then, yeah, I may as well get you to 8. So I may as well do, right? Yeah, let's hang out with you. Are you ready? Let's race a practice. The guy that I'm gonna set on the route to getting permanently injured.